Hello, I'm Jim Danko, President of Butler University. I am extremely pleased to welcome all of you, parents, family, friends, and especially our new students who are joining the Butler community. Every one of our new students has worked hard to arrive at this moment. Both in and out of the classroom, your professors and peers will at times expose you to ideas, beliefs, and experiences that are unfamiliar or that conflict with your own. Quite frankly, if we are doing our jobs correctly, you should experience a degree of discomfort on occasion in the course of your education as your viewpoints are challenged. You are beginning your college years during one of the most turbulent periods in our nation's history. But being challenged during the course of your college education is indeed essential as you develop the critical thinking and discernment skills which will serve you well throughout your lives in a world filled with conflicting perspectives and strong opinions. Your stay at Butler is an ideal time to develop your ability to adapt, accept, reject, or experience a diverse set of ideas. Because we value such growth, we hold to the principle of free speech on our campus. Each person has a right to express their opinions in a civil manner. Even if you disagree or find that person's beliefs unpalatable, it is important to acknowledge their right to express them. I also want to assure you that we understand there is a line between the discomfort you may feel on occasion as part of your education and our responsibility to provide an environment that does not tolerate discrimination based on race, religion, gender identity, or political beliefs. Let me underscore that point. This university will not tolerate racism or any forms of discrimination. And so, along with the amazing education, friendships, and yes, good times that you are about to experience, you have a significant opportunity, actually a challenge, to use your togetherness as Butler's newest incoming class of students to help this university live up to its history and founding mission. You are now part of Butler University, and Butler will be a part of you, sharing in our collective responsibility, even in the face of any difference and disagreements, to finally address long-standing issues of injustice and unfairness that have so harmed our togetherness as a nation. Knowing your achievements to date and the talent of this new class, I am more confident than ever in our ability to succeed. Welcome to Butler University.
As a way for you to get to know one another, I want to share some information that was conveyed during your application process. Academically, you continue a strong tradition at Butler University amongst our entering classes. Over 40 of you joined us having achieved valedictorian status, and collectively, you earned a high school GPA of 3.92. Some 117 of you will also participate in the Butler Honors Program. Your academic strength is also reflected in the 23 Lilly Scholars who are members of your class. These classmates represent some of the most talented students from the state of Indiana. Your class hails from 610 different high schools. And geographically, you represent 37 U.S. states, D.C., and 12 countries from around the globe. 17% of you identified as multicultural. 40 of you received the Dr. Morton Finney Leadership Award. This award recognizes students who have taken a leadership role promoting diversity and inclusion in their schools and communities. 58 of you are legacy students, with either your parents or your grandparents having attended Butler University. And 16% of you shared that you were a first-generation student. There were countless references to leadership conferences, participation in community service, mission and service trips in the U.S. and abroad. And reading just some of your stories, I can't begin to tell you how excited we are to mentor, to teach, to support, and to champion your experiences and your ideas while you're here. Class of 2024, welcome to Butler.
My job as president puts me in a position where I've got to take a few minutes to talk about safety on our campus and things that you need to do to take care of each other. Back in 2013, one of our local students who was going away to Indiana University, her name was Rachel Feed, she's right from Zionsville. She moved into IU that weekend. Typical weekend pre-pandemic, where no doubt she went out with her parents, did a little bit of shopping, and at the appropriate time, her parents went back home here, left Rachel there. Later on a Saturday of that weekend, Rachel texted her parents, "Thank you, Mom and Dad, I love you." She went off to a party, and unfortunately, about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, she fell down the steps in this house where the party was being held, and she died the next day. Those types of things, unfortunately, do happen on college campuses. This is the time of life where naturally you are getting some independence. You're learning to do things and you're out of your parents' view, capable of controlling your own lives. But how you take advantage of that is so important, and it's so important on a college campus. Go out on the web and look for rachelsfirstweek.com. In it, they tell the story of Rachel, and they have a number of educational portions in that website that provide some guidance to you about safe practices on a college campus. So that's very important. So I'm going to ask you to do a second thing. I'm going to ask you to think about intervening. Because in Rachel's case, perhaps if somebody had intervened, when she fell down the steps, her friends didn't realize what was wrong. They put her to bed, and it wasn't until the next day that they found her that she had died. If somebody maybe had intervened, Rachel would be with us. So that really underscores the importance of safety for you taking care of each other. In this pandemic, over the last few months, we have worked diligently, thinking through everything we could possibly do to make sure that we have that social distance that's so important, to make sure people are wearing face masks, to make sure that you're using best practices in your student housing units, in our classrooms. There are people amongst you, they have compromised immune systems. They have any other number of underlying health issues, and they might not want to be too public about it. So really your responsibility is as much to them as it is anyone. So I'm going to ask you to make this pledge to watch out for each other. It's part of the Butler way. Now, in the past, when I've had this auditorium filled with people, I would ask our students to stand up and wave to their parents and let them know that they heard my words of advice. I'm not sure where you are right now in relation to your parents, but at some point in the next 24 hours, I want you to let them know in some way, shape, or form that you heard my words and that you've taken the pledge to intervene and make sure that you do everything possible to keep each other safe.
Convocation is designed to be a joyous occasion, recognizing the moment that you become official members of our campus community, whether as students, parents, or other family members. For those of you who are new to the Butler community, you will learn quickly that Butler is full of faculty members who, like me, are dedicated to the intellectual and personal development of our students. Students, your faculty will play a very special role in your lives, not only during your time here on our campus, but for a long time thereafter. Our faculty will be your professors, your academic advisors, and your mentors. They will challenge you in the classroom, support you as you seek out what we call high-impact educational practices, like undergraduate research, or study abroad, or internships, or other forms of experiential placements. We will work with you to make sure you fulfill all of the requirements necessary to earn your degree. But it's up to you to make sure you get an education.
Evan and Blue back with you to give you some final tips to get you through your first year here at Butler. Let's call it Blue's Clues.
Blue's Clue number 1 is to get creative with your study spots. You know, sometimes all you need in life is a new perspective, and the same thing can go for your schoolwork. So grab a blanket and spread out in Holcomb Gardens, or snag that secret study room in between floors 1 and 2 of Atherton Union. Just bring some headphones, you don't want to be that person. Blue's Clue number 2 is to make sure you take care of yourself, both mentally and physically. So stay active. There are plenty of ways to get moving on campus. You can run along the canal, do some yoga on the mall, or if you're really brave, you could run the bell tower stairs. But then make sure you're partnering all of that with some good sleep. Sleep is love. Sleep is life. Just ask Blue. And then of course, make sure you're finding some time to do the hobbies or activities in life that you love. You deserve it. And finally, Blue's last clue is to try new things. I know it can seem scary, but college is a time of change and growth. Say yes to that club that interests you. Expand your food palette. Pick up a new hobby. You never know where that interest might lead you.
Thanks everybody for hanging out. Blue and I just know you're gonna have a remarkable year, and don't worry, he'll be there right alongside you the whole time. So good luck, and as always, go Dogs!
During your orientation and welcome week, you will learn more about life on campus and the Butler student experience, which we refer to as BU Be Well, which focuses on the holistic well-being of all of our students. BU Be Well provides the foundation for a transformative student experience, and you will have many opportunities to grow, learn, develop, and become the best version of yourselves. At Butler, we aspire to create and nurture a community where everyone feels like they belong. We are proud that our diverse community is enriched by students, faculty, and staff from many different backgrounds. We expect all members of the Butler family to be kind to one another, to serve as allies for each other, and to treat everyone with respect. This is what we do as Bulldogs. Butler is a very special place, and I am so glad that you've made the decision to join our community.
On behalf of the City of Indianapolis, it's my responsibility and my honor to say, welcome to Indy. Our city is fortunate and excited to have such a diverse, talented group of emerging leaders officially entering our community. As a proud Butler alumnus and a proud member of the Butler Board of Trustees, I'm happy to be here today in this dual role of Indy advocate and Butler advocate. Like Indy, inclusivity rests firmly as a foundation block of this university. In 1855, Ovid Butler opened the school on the very principle that everyone deserves an education, regardless of race or gender. This same inclusivity is found throughout Indy, ensuring our city truly does welcome all. More than 50 years ago, on the day that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was tragically killed in Memphis, Senator Robert Kennedy was in Indianapolis. In fact, Kennedy stood just 10 minutes from campus, speaking to a crowd of Indy residents, breaking this tragic news. He spoke of peace, love, and reconciliation. While other cities across the nation erupted in violence, Indy stayed united. This unity continues today, with peaceful protesting ensuring all voices are heard. Parents, may your waves of anxiety be replaced with waves of peace, knowing that Indianapolis and Butler will protect, keep healthy, and care deeply for your kids, now our residents. Students, congratulations on joining the Butler family, a family that will be here for you throughout your entire life. Welcome to Butler, and welcome to Indianapolis.
We'll sing a Butler war song, we'll give a fighting cry, we'll fight the Butler battle, Bulldogs ever do or die, and in the glow of the victory firelight, history cannot deny, to add a page or two for Butler's fighting crew beneath the Hoosier sky. We'll sing a Butler war song, we'll give a fighting cry, we'll fight the Butler battle, Bulldogs ever do or die, and in the glow of the victory firelight, history cannot deny, to add a page or two for Butler's fighting crew beneath the Hoosier sky, beneath the Hoosier sky.